All right, good afternoon. Court's on the record, Commerce City Municipal Court for the afternoon session of December 15th of 2021. For the people that are on Zoom, please leave your devices on mute. I will ask you to unmute when I'm ready to call your case. ¿Hay alguien que tiene un caso de que nomás hablan solamente español? Okay.
Buenas tardes, vamos a comenzar la sesión de la ciudad de Commerce City por la tarde, el 15 de diciembre de 2021. Entonces, las personas que se están conectando por medio de Zoom, por favor voy a pedir que silencien su micrófono y cuando le llame su nombre, le voy a pedir que prendan el micrófono.
Okay. And Ms. Silva, I don't know that you've ever interpreted for this court before. I don't believe that you have. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I have interpreted before.
Here in Commerce City?
Yes, in Commerce City in person.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't need to re-swear you. Okay. Right now, I only have one person in the courtroom with a juvenile who's in Spanish. Now, unfortunately, we did not set up a Zoom connection for them. So when I call them up, I'm going to need to make sure that you speak loudly and clearly. Fortunately, I do understand Spanish. So what they tell me, I won't necessarily need you to interpret, except to the extent of making a record. So we'll try. I'll let you know when we have a Spanish-only person, so that, and I'll tip you off when it's time for you to do the interpretation. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Interpreter standing by.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Let me begin with Aurelio Martinez. If you would come forward to station number 1. Good afternoon. This has been an interesting day so far. Give me just a moment while I pull up your file. Okay, Mr. Martinez, I have a document that indicates that when you, that the city attorney is indicating that if you plead guilty to an added reduced charge, excuse me, of driving a defective vehicle, that's a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original charge against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Okay, excuse me, Ms. Wiedemeyer, could you mute your device, please? It looks like a little microphone. It should be on the bottom left of your screen.
That work?
Okay. Have you found it?
No, I can't find it.
Okay. If you're looking at your screen on the bottom left, okay, my clerk, I think, went ahead and muted you. So we're good, but you need to keep looking for it because you'll need to unmute when it's time for me to call your case. So right now you're muted, so don't worry about it. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Martinez. Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you are renouncing all of the trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of in that video? Okay. Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, on November 15th of 2021 at about 1:30 in the afternoon in the area of 6380 Holly Street here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? All right, you have a good driving record. Let me look at this accident report. I said you have a good driving record. Let me look at this accident report. For some reason, I have the wrong ticket up. Give me just a moment. Yeah. Are you sure they're on Zoom? This is the HearPod.
Yeah, I'm sure she is.
Okay. All right. I gave the wrong date, time, and location of your accident. So I'm going to have to repeat the question again. As to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, it's on November 7th of 2021 at about 1:15 in the afternoon in the area of 120th and Brighton Road here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Okay, I'll accept that guilty plea. For some reason, it just brought up the one I had worked on before. All right, in your case, no one was injured. There's nothing in aggravation on your driving record. Was there anything you wanted to tell me about the accident itself that I should consider before I impose the sentence against you? All right. Your schedule fine's $160. I have to give you an aggravated fine because of the collision itself. So I'm going to reduce your fine to $120 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby, my clerks are going to tell you what the total is. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. So when you go out the double doors, make a left before you get to the metal detector, and that'll get you to my clerk's windows. Do you have any questions? Nope. You'll be free to go as soon as you take care of that at the windows. Okay? All right, go ahead and go out there, and my clerks will take care of you. Thank you. Jessica Rodriguez, if you'll come to station number 2. Good afternoon. That's odd. I have a document that indicates that you're simply pleading guilty to the failure to use the safety belt charge from November 17th of 2021 at about 8:20 in the morning in the area of 103rd and Adalia Street here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this charge? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? And do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea, let me just To make a clear record, it's possible that the noise from the wind, which is in a severe weather alert status, is affecting the record on this case. I'm going to try and make supplemental records where I think I need to because of the noise being created by the wind. In any event, Ms. Rodriguez, do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're waiving all of the trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of in this video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the charge of failure to wear a safety belt, it's a 0-point violation from November 17th of 2021 at 8:21 in the morning in the area of 103rd and Dahlia Street here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Anything you want to tell me that I should take into consider before I impose the sentence against you? Okay, I'm assuming those were your kids in the car with you? Yes. And were they seat belted and in a child seat?
My daughter was in a car seat in the back. My son, who's 12, was in the front, and he's the one that took the seatbelt off. I didn't notice until after the crash, and I looked at him, and he didn't have a seatbelt on. We were close to the school. He likes to not listen to me and take his seatbelt off so he could jump out of the car to go meet his friends. But yeah.
Okay, I assume you chewed him out and okay, good. Because I've got to tell you, nobody plans on getting into an accident. It always happens by surprise. And a lot of them happen really close to where people live. So the key, though, is under these circumstances, you need to make sure that your kids understand that until you remove them from the car seat or you tell them to undo the safety belt, they shouldn't undo those, okay? I'm going to apply the minimum fine, which is $25 plus surcharges plus court costs. If you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they'll tell you the total workout payment arrangements, okay? Mm-hmm. Brian Ramirez, if you would come to station number 3, please. Good afternoon. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge against you from November 7th of 2021 at about 9:42 in the evening in the area of 92nd and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Did you read or watch the advisement of rights video? And do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then, to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on November 7th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? All right, there's nothing in aggravation on your driving record. Your schedule fine's $120. I'm going to reduce your fine to $80 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to tell you what the total is, and if you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the windows, see my clerk. Itzel Gonzalez, if you would unmute your device.
Hi, Your Honor.
Okay, and is that your mom with you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Silva, we're going to need you to interpret for Ms. Gonzalez's parent. Are you there, Ms. Silva?
Sorry, Adam needed her in his breakout room, so I sent her in there really fast.
Okay. Itzel, we're going to just go ahead and stay on. I'm going to go ahead and wait for the interpreter to be available before I move on to the next case, okay? So
Okay.
hold on. All right, Itzel, it's sounding like it's going to be a little while for him, so stay muted. I'm going to go ahead and do another case while we're waiting.
Okay.
Ms. Wiedmeyer, if you would go ahead and unmute your device. And you can hear me, right? Just nod. Okay. I don't know if you've got your device on full screen or partial screen, but on the bottom left-hand side, there's something that looks like an old-time microphone. Oh, looks like you got it.
I got it, I think.
Yes, you did. Very good.
There we go. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, that's a 3-point violation in Colorado, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge against you from November 11th of 2021 at about 3:15 in the afternoon in the area of 92nd and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this reduced charge? Yes.
All right, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you are waiving all of the trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of in that video?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge
No.
against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
Then to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, a 3-point violation on November 11th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No.
All right, obviously I show that at the time of the ticket, you had a Wyoming license and a Wyoming address. Mr. Garland says that you've now moved to Colorado. Is that correct?
Yes.
And are you living in the Commerce City area?
No. I live in Arvada. Okay, that's fine. I was just going to give you a couple of hints about driving in Commerce City, but that's fine. Was there anything else you wanted me to consider before I impose the sentence against you?
No.
All right. Your schedule fine's $120. I'm going to reduce your fine to $60 plus surcharges and court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email, either later today or tomorrow. They're going to tell you what the total is, and if you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. They will tell you how to make payment arrangements when they send you that email. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Enjoy the afternoon, all right?
Thank you.
Ms. Silva, are you back?
She's not, sir. She's still in the breakout room with Adam.
All right, I'll do another
Oh,
one.
all right.
All right. Jesus Rivera, if you would unmute your device.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rivera. How are you?
Good.
This is on the pretrial docket. I have a document that shows that the city attorney is satisfied you successfully completed all of the conditions of the diversion in this case. I'm going to go ahead and enter the order of dismissal. So when you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow. They'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal. Because of the nature of the case, it is eligible to be sealed. If you wish to have the record of your case sealed, when my clerks contact you, let them know that you want to have it sealed. They'll send you the information on how to file a petition to seal the record. There's a $65 filing fee that goes along with that petition. I'll make a note on your file right now that if I receive that petition, I'm going to grant it and seal the record of this case. So, again, my clerks will send you the copy of the order of dismissal either later today or tomorrow. Do you have any questions?
Okay.
All right. If you don't have any questions, then you're free to leave the meeting and just keep an eye out for that email from my clerks. All right?
No, I don't. I'll just be on.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Go ahead and repeat that again. Mr. Rivera, are you there? It looks like you've left the meeting.
Yeah, he left. I think he said he didn't have any questions.
Okay. Thank you. Are you done with the interpreter for now? Okay, thanks.
She's back, Judge, the interpreter.
Ms. Itzel Gonzalez, go ahead and unmute your device, please.
Señora González, si puede prender el micrófono, por favor.
Okay, ya.
Okay, ready.
Okay, I have a document that alleges that on October, oh no, wait, we've already set this for pretrial once.
Un momento.
Espérame un momento, por favor. Okay, so has she done the community service and the 1125? No, because I don't think I asked that to her last time. Oh, no, I've already filled it out. Never mind. All right, that's good. All right. Ms. Gonzalez, I have a document that alleges that on October 13th of 2021, at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, in the area of the 7200 block of Quebec Parkway, that you had a traffic accident and are charged with unlawful backing. Let's let the interpreter interpret that for your mom.
Entonces, señora González, tengo un documento que supone que el 13 de octubre de 2021, alrededor de la 1 de la tarde, que en la cuadra de 72 y la Quebec Parkway, usted tuvo un accidente de tránsito donde se supone que usted retrocedió ilegalmente.
Itzel, do you understand what it is that you're being charged with?
Yes.
¿Entiende usted de qué se le está acusando?
Sí.
Sí.
All right. The city attorney is offering that if you complete 16 hours of community service, the Alive at 25 class, and don't pick up any new violations, he will reduce this down to a 0-point charge.
Entonces, el fiscal local ha acordado contigo, si usted completa 16 horas de servicio a la comunidad, para servicio a la comunidad, y usted complete una clase que se llama Alive at 25 y no tienes ninguna nueva infracción, él va a bajar esta infracción a 0 puntos.
Sí.
Is this how you wish
Yes.
to resolve your case today?
Yes.
¿Esta es la manera que usted desea resolver su causa el día de hoy?
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay. And for your mother, Senora, do you understand the original charge that was filed against your daughter?
Señora, ¿usted entiende la acusación original que fue promovida contra su hija?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you understand what it is that the city attorney is offering your daughter in an effort to resolve this case?
¿Entiende, señora, lo que el fiscal local está ofreciendo a su hija para resolver esta causa?
Sí. Sí, entiendo.
Yes. Yes, I understand.
Do you agree that your daughter is acting in her best interest by accepting this resolution to her case?
¿Usted está de acuerdo que su hija está actuando en el mejor interés para ella para resolver esta causa?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Okay. Itzel, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
¿Usted vio el video de su notificación de derechos?
Yes.
Sí.
Okay. My clerks are going to send you an email with the new court date.
Mi actuario judicial le va a enviar un correo electrónico con la nueva fecha para presentarse al juzgado.
They'll send you a referral to the people that put on the driving class.
Le vamos a enviar una recomendación de la información para la clase, las personas que presentan esa clase.
It's important that you contact them right away so you can get signed up with the class and have it finished by the next court date.
Es importante que usted se registre lo más pronto posible para esa clase, así ya has completado la clase antes de presentarse a la siguiente fecha al juzgado.
My clerks are going to send you the form we use for community service.
Mi actuario judicial le va a enviar el formulario que usted necesita llenar cuando estás haciendo las horas para servicio a la comunidad.
You can do the community service anywhere. It does not need to be done in Commerce City.
Usted puede hacer sus horas para servicio a la comunidad en cualquier lugar. No es obligatorio hacer esas horas en Commerce City.
The only requirement that I make is that it must be done at a legitimate nonprofit agency.
El único requisito que le quiero pedir es que esas horas tienen que presentarse a un lugar legítimo, que es un lugar sin fines de lucro.
I'm going to leave the issue of restitution, that is reimbursement for any damage that you caused, open until the next court hearing.
Voy a dejar el tema de resarcimiento abierto. Según eso van a ser los daños que se causó. Lo voy a dejar abierto hasta la siguiente fecha al juzgado.
I'm going to allow the prosecutor to investigate to see if there's any claim that's going to be filed for that damage in this court.
Entonces voy a permitir la fiscalía que haga una investigación y si hay un reclamo que se tramite, entonces se puede presentar ese reclamo aquí.
If everything is in order on the next date, I will authorize that this matter be resolved by a 0-point charge.
Entonces voy a ordenar que en la siguiente fecha, si todo esté bien, entonces voy a autorizar que esta infracción quede a 0 puntos.
Do you have any questions about what's expected of you?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta de las expectativas que usted tiene que cumplir?
No. No. No.
And Senora,
No.
do you have any questions about what's expected of your daughter?
Señora, ¿tiene usted alguna pregunta sobre lo que es, sobre las expectativas que tiene que cumplir su hija?
No, todo está bien.
No, everything's good.
Okay, so you can go ahead and leave the meeting. My clerks will send you the information you need to accomplish this order.
Entonces, en este momento usted se puede desconectar de esta reunión y mi actuario judicial le va a enviar la información de los requisitos que usted tiene que cumplir.
Bueno.
Sounds good?
Bye.
Okay.
Adiós.
Mhm. I'm sorry? Oh, you're looking at the different pile than I am. I'm looking at the one where there's a Spanish speaker here. Okay. Daniel Rivera, si te puedes arrimar a la estación número 1 con su mamá. And Miss Philly, you're really going to need to speak up in order for her to hear you, okay?
Okay.
No, you're fine right there.
¿Está bien dónde está?
Y, señora, dime si no la puedes oír, la interpreter que está en la computer, okay? Daniel, do you speak English?
Daniel, ¿habla usted inglés?
Okay. I have a document that accuses you of engaging in indecent exposure on November 17th of 2021 at 1:45 in the afternoon in the area of 6160 Kearney Street. That's near the school here in Commerce City. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Tengo un documento que lo acusa de exhibicionismo el 17 de noviembre de 2021 a la 1:45 de la tarde alrededor de la 6160 Kearney Street, cerca de la escuela que está aquí ubicada en Commerce City.
También, señora, ¿tú entiendes lo que le están acusando de tu hijo de haciendo? Okay, just for the record, I asked the mother if she understood what her son was accused of doing. Daniel, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Daniel, ¿usted vio el video de su notificación de derechos?
That's fine. Señora, did you watch the advisement of rights video in Spanish?
Señora, ¿usted vio el video en español de la notificación de sus derechos? Yes.
Daniel, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case, just to make things easier for you to understand. Do you understand? Okay?
Daniel, yo le voy a asignar un abogado para que lo represente en esta causa para asegurar que usted entienda bien todo.
We're going to set, that's okay, you don't need to answer. We're going to set this case over for a new court date so that the attorney can become familiar with your case and discuss it with both of you before we go any further on this matter. Do you understand?
Entonces, lo que vamos a hacer es vamos a aplazar su causa para otra fecha. Así el abogado puede familiarizarse con su causa y puede hablar con los dos para prepararse para la causa.
And you're in agreement with that, señora?
Señora, ¿usted está de acuerdo con eso?
When you go to the windows in the lobby, my clerks are going to give you the notice of a new court date. Make sure you keep your appointment with Link. I will have the attorney contact you before the next court date.
Entonces, vayas a la ventanilla que está en el vestíbulo y le van a dar la nueva fecha para presentarse al juzgado. Por favor, asista a la cita que usted tiene con Link y el abogado se va a comunicar contigo.
Do you have any questions?
¿Tiene usted algunas preguntas?
Okay. Then puedes ir a la ventanilla que está en paseo. Gracias. Thank you, Ms. Wolf. All right, so we'll set this matter for a pretrial conference. We'll appoint a guardian ad litem for the juvenile in this matter. All right, now, Mr. Golan. This one's English, Ms. Silva.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, court's on the record. There's 3 cases. I'm going to start with Affordable Concrete LLC. It's number 302752. And there's Mr. Kruger. Good afternoon, Mr. Kruger.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right. It's my understanding that you want to enter a not guilty plea on behalf of the charge regarding prescribed acts from May 11th of 2021 and set the matter for trial. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. On this case number, again, Carmen, this is CM 302752 for Affordable Concrete. I've entered the not guilty plea, schedule the matter for a trial to the court. Mr. Golan, again, I'm looking at February 14th for this trial. You cannot?
In all these cases, my understanding is they're intermingled, so we're going to do them all at the same time.
Okay, and Mr. Kruger, I know that you're probably having a very difficult time hearing Mr. Golan. Let me just ask, do you agree that all 3 of these matters can be scheduled on the same day?
Yes, I do. I think we had mentioned, but maybe not officially moved during our last appearance to consolidate these 3 defendants into one trial.
Okay, I don't have a problem doing that. He's indicated he's not available on February 14th. How do you look on February 7th?
Was that 7, Your Honor?
Yes, 7, it's a Monday.
I have a conflict on Monday, February 7th.
All right, how about Monday, February 28th?
I am clear on February 28th, Your Honor. Looks good.
Is that acceptable to the people? All right, Mr. Golan has indicated it is. What time do we want to start this? At 9 o'clock? At 8:30? All right. Well, is that acceptable to you, Mr. Kruger?
8:30, I heard?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay. These are in person. All evidentiary hearings have to be held in person.
Okay.
So we'll schedule all 3 matters. I'm assuming you want me to enter the not guilty pleas as to Ledger Property Group as well as to RP CDI Environmental, whatever that is. He's left-handed, so sometimes his handwriting's hard for me to read.
Yeah, that third one was Consolidated Divisions, Inc., DBA, CDI Environmental Contractor. Yes, not guilty for the remaining defendants.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and enter the not guilty pleas on all of them. We'll schedule all of them for a trial to the court. All of them will be scheduled for February 28th at 8:30 in the morning. And so we'll see you here on that date and time. Just so that you're aware, it's probably not going to be me hearing the cases. It'll be the new judge.
Okay.
All right. thank you very much. You're free to leave the meeting. My clerks will send you an email reminder notice of the court trial dates and times.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You have a good afternoon.
You too.
It's going to be on the record regarding James Servin. Mr. Price, I see that you're here. If you would go ahead and unmute your device.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and is Mr. Servin joining us?
So he was here and he went into the breakout, and I think when he left the breakout, we lost him entirely. I can try to get him back. We had talked about a continuance.
All right, I don't need him back for that. Let me just
Thank
ask,
you.
was he here on a video or was he just on telephone?
He was here on video. He was under my name. There were two of us for a while because of the way the link, what we registered for the link.
Okay, no, that's fine then. If you're okay with waiving his appearance, because it's just a resetting of another pretrial.
That's just fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, according to Mr. Gollin, he's done the community service, he's rescheduled the class. So he still owes some half of the community service in the class. Did you guys talk about a date?
We did not, Your Honor.
Do you know when his class is scheduled for?
This class is scheduled soon. I think it's over the weekend, and it's this coming weekend, or if not, it's this coming week. So the class is scheduled soon, and I believe he still has 16 hours to do. With the holidays coming up, I'd ask for a little more time than normal, but he has 16 hours left.
Well, I could do.
Judge, the 6 weeks out is January 26th.
I was looking at January 19th or 20th myself. Thank you, Carmen. And Mr. Levi, can you tell me, or I'm sorry, Mr. Price? Levi Price. Mr. Price, can you check your calendar for your availability on either January 19th or 20th at 1:15?
Your Honor, I am available on either of those dates.
I'd rather do the 20th at 1:15.
That's just fine. That's better for my personal schedule. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll reset this matter for a pretrial conference. You'll get a reminder notice emailed to you your client using the email he signed up for today's hearing. They'll send him a reminder notice of the date. If something shows that the class deadline is moved back to January 20th, and a new community service form showing you 16 more hours. I'm assuming, I don't know if he's turned in the original 16 hours, but we'll give him another one showing that the full 32 hours proof is due on January 20th as well. So if he's already done 16 and has that filled out, he just needs to get another 16 added to the second one and send them both in.
And Your Honor, if all of that documentation is sent in prior to the court date, do we still need to appear on that date, or will the case?
If you get it in early enough so that the prosecutor gets it and he files the motion to dismiss so that I can enter the order before the hearing date, the answer is no, you don't need to appear. However, if it doesn't come in early enough for me to address it, based on the nature of the charge, it is something that requires an appearance.
Understood. Thank you very much for that.
So it's going to be up to you getting it to the prosecutor in time.
Understood.
Thank you.
So that was just community service, correct, sir?
Say that again?
Just community service hours, 16 hours?
Yeah, well, he owed 32 originally plus making better choices. So he needs to present the proof of the 32 hours. I don't see that he's filed the proof of the original 16 that he claims to have done.
Okay, I'll just put it for the whole 32 then.
I think that's the better way to handle it. Print it for the whole 32. He's making better choices. And then obviously the next pretrial date is on January 20th at 1:15.
Thank you.
Mr. Gallen, I have a note that says that you're waiving a conflict regarding Jason Johnson, if you would come forward to the lectern. Yeah, right there. How are you? Good. That doesn't technically create a conflict of interest. You tried to tell him a golf story and he cut you off? What's wrong with you?
I don't golf. I'm sorry. I suck at being a lawyer. I know.
All right. And Mr. Johnson, technically that isn't a conflict of interest. However, you have the right, if you would feel more comfortable, having me disqualify myself from your case, and I would reassign it to one of the backup judges who doesn't play golf and doesn't go to Buffalo Run. Again, it's your choice. Technically, there is no direct conflict of interest because I've never represented you before. All right. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with a defective headlight, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge against you from November 7th of 2021 at 5:42 in the morning in the area of 86th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? How did you think I looked on that video? Pretty impressive, right? See, and Carmen, you obviously know not to repeat that to anybody, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just still wondering why it hasn't been nominated for an award, but that's okay. All right. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you are waiving all of the trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with a defective headlight, a 1-point violation on November 7th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I will accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? Thank you. Sure. Let me ask this. This looks like it's your first moving violation in Colorado. Is that correct? How long have you been driving in Colorado? 9 years. Okay. I can take that into consideration more than anything else. All right. One of the things that I tell people frequently, is, especially people who live up north like you do, all of the north-south streets in Commerce City have now been made a consistent 45. Tower Road's a 45 from south of 104th. Highway 2 is a 45 all the way to I-76. Highway 85, once you get into towns, a 45. Quebec, 45. All of them are 45, and that's just to have that level of consistency, but also it's for public safety purposes. Highway 2 used to be a 55 zone, and we'd get a bunch of crashes, but it was in two-lane road, and it was in bad shape. Now it's been widened, but it's in great shape, but they lowered it to 45 again for public safety purposes. I can tell you that we have very few accidents on Highway 2 now compared to what we used to have in the past, and I think a lot of it has to do with the speed. Tower Road, still, it's the lights. People go really fast, the lights change, all of a sudden we have rear-end collision accidents. They're not going to lower it below 45, but you know, it's one of those things where they tried to make it one consistent speed, and it's just the lights. All of the additional people that live up in that area now, east of the golf course, it's just becoming more and more dangerous on Tower Road. So I'm just saying that just in the future, just keep that in mind, okay? All right, your scheduled fine in this case, $120. I'm going to reduce your fine to $60 plus surcharges, plus court costs, and that's the same as I would do with anybody else who has a driving record like yours who got the same plea bargain. When you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they're going to tell you what the total is. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions? All right, just go out to the windows, see my clerks, they'll take care of you. Thank you. Oh, shoot. All right, Carmen, I just dropped all of the files for those 3 cases, so give me a second, I'll be right with you. Jose Hernandez Ayala, if you would unmute your device, please.
José Hernández Ayala, si puedes prender su micrófono, por favor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Buenas tardes, su señoría.
Mr. Hernandez, do you have, it's my understanding your mother needs the interpreter, is that correct?
Señor
Yes, Your
Hernández,
Honor.
tengo entendido que su madre es la persona que necesita la intérprete, ¿verdad?
And do you have video capability on your phone?
¿Tiene la capacidad de tener video cámara en su teléfono?
I do, but the call, it's on a phone call.
Sí, pero el problema es que está en una llamada telefónica.
Well, the reason is I'd like to be able to see your mother present with you.
La razón es que yo quiero ver su madre, que ella está ahí presente contigo.
She is here with me if you like to talk to her.
Ella está aquí si desea hablar con ella.
Well, again, I'm asking, can you activate your camera?
De nuevo, te estoy preguntando si puedes activar la cámara.
I cannot, Your Honor.
No lo
Okay,
puedo,
that's
su señoría.
En la computadora.
Okay.
How about on the computer?
Señora, ¿me puedes
Sí.
dar tu nombre?
Verónica Ayala Méndez,
Okay, ¿y tú eres la mamá de José Hernández Ayala?
correcto.
Okay. All right, Jose, I have a document that indicates that you're pleading guilty to the charge of assault from July 20th of 2021 at 6270 Holly Street here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case?
Entonces, tengo un documento que dice aquí que usted se va a declarar culpable a la acusación de agresión de la fecha del 20 de julio de 2021 que ocurrió en la 6272 Holly Street en la ciudad de Commerce City. ¿Esa es la manera que usted desea resolver la causa?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, su señoría.
All right. And Ms. Ayala, do you understand the original charge filed against your son?
Y la señora Ayala, ¿entiende usted la acusación original que se promovió contra su hijo?
Sí,
Yes.
And do you agree that your son is acting in his best interest by pleading guilty to committing this offense?
¿Usted está de acuerdo que su hijo está actuando en su mejor interés cuando él se declara culpable a esta acusación?
sí.
Yes.
All right, Jose, either this time or at a prior hearing, did you review the advisement of rights video?
José,
Yes,
no sé si esta vez o a una audiencia anterior, si usted vio el video de su notificación de derechos. Sí, su señoría.
Go ahead and answer again, Mr. Hernandez.
Señor
Yes, Your
Hernández,
Honor.
¿puede responder de nuevo? Sí, su señoría.
And do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea, you're waiving all of the trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of in that video?
Entiende que si yo acepto su declaración de culpable, usted está renunciando a todos los derechos que se le explicó en ese video de su notificación de derechos.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, su señoría.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
¿Alguien lo ha
No,
forzado
Your Honor.
o lo ha coaccionado para que usted se declare culpable a esta acusación contra su voluntad?
Jose, go ahead and wait for the interpreter to do the Spanish language interpretation before you answer, okay?
Entonces, José, si puede esperar que la intérprete en español interprete todo antes de responder.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, su señoría.
And so do you understand that you're waiving all of those rights?
Entonces, ¿usted entiende que está renunciando todos esos derechos que se le explicó?
No, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
Okay, let me repeat the question.
Voy a repetir la pregunta.
If I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're waiving all of the trial and appeal-related rights that you were advised of in that video. Do you understand that?
Entonces, si yo acepto su declaración de culpable, entiende que usted está renunciando todos los derechos que usted tiene para ir a juicio, los derechos para apelar y todos los derechos que se le explicó en ese video.
Jose, do you understand that?
José, ¿has entendido eso?
I wouldn't know the answer to that, Your Honor.
No sería la respuesta a eso, su señoría.
If you watch the advisement of rights, it explained that you had the right to a trial, and if you lost the trial, you had the right to appeal. And it enumerated all of the rights that you had during the course of a trial. If I accept your guilty plea today, you are not having a trial, so you're necessarily renouncing all of those rights. Do you understand that?
Entonces, cuando usted vio ese video de la notificación de sus derechos, ahí explicó los derechos que usted tiene para tener un juicio, el derecho que usted tiene para apelar, todos los derechos que usted tiene oficialmente. Entonces, ahora, si yo acepto su declaración de culpable, entonces no vas a ir a juicio y no vas a ir a juicio y estar renunciando todos esos derechos que se le explicó.
Disculpe, ¿puedo hablar como mamá?
Excuse me, can I speak as the mother?
Sí.
Okay. Lo que pasa es que él ahorita cuando él dijo que era culpable, no entiende él muy bien cuando él tiene que dar una contestación. Él se equivocó en la pregunta que él dio. Él tenía que haber dicho que no. Pero ya cuando le volvieron a preguntar, yo le comenté a él que él no era culpable, pero comentó él que él ya había comentado a ustedes pues que se había equivocado, que ya no podía volverlo a hacer.
Pero sí lo
Y
puede. Si él no quiere, si no se quiere declarar culpable, no tiene que hacer eso. Podemos poner que se está declarando no culpable y poner el caso para un juicio. ¿Cómo es que él quiere seguir? ¿Se quiere declarar culpable o no culpable?
No culpable.
Okay.
Not guilty.
Él me tiene que decir eso. José, is that what you want to do?
José,
Yes,
¿es
Your
eso
Honor.
lo que usted
I plead
desea
not
hacer?
guilty.
Sí,
Let the
sí.
interpreter interpret again.
Entonces, José, ¿es eso lo que desea hacer?
Yes, Your Honor. I plead not guilty.
Okay.
Sí, su señoría, yo me declaro no culpable.
All right. So I'm going to enter your not guilty plea. We'll schedule this case for a trial to the court.
Entonces, voy a aceptar su declaración de no culpable y voy a programar su juicio.
At the trial, you'll have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf. If your witnesses will not appear in court voluntarily, let my clerks know. They'll issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which you can use to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial.
Entonces, usted tendrá el derecho de llamar testigos y ellos pueden presentarse voluntariamente. Si no, podemos citar esos testigos y el actuario judicial podrá enviarles a ellos una notificación para que se comparezcan. Y ese servicio es gratis.
When you leave the meeting today, my clerks will send you the notice of the trial date.
Cuando usted se desconecta de la reunión de hoy, mi actuario judicial le va a dar una notificación con la nueva fecha de su juicio.
Let my clerks know if you need subpoenas when you receive that email.
Entonces, avísele a mis actuarios judiciales si usted necesita un citatorio judicial para esas personas para que se presenten.
Okay. Jose, have you received copies of the police reports in this case?
José, ¿has recibido una copia de los informes policíacos en esta causa?
No, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
When my clerks send you the notice of the trial date, ask them and they'll provide you copies of the police reports so that you can have them to use them to prepare for the trial. Okay?
Entonces, cuando el actuario judicial le envíe la notificación de la fecha de su juicio, por favor, pídales ese informe policíaco, así usted tiene una copia para prepararse para su juicio.
Do you have any questions?
¿Tiene usted algunas preguntas?
No, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
Okay. Señora, do you have any questions?
Señora, ¿tiene usted algunas preguntas?
Mi pregunta es de que ¿se puede presentar algún tipo de video de cuando fue la causa, la pelea?
So my question is, can he present some kind of video of the fight on this case?
If he has a copy of that video, the answer is yes, but he should probably provide it to the prosecutor before the trial date.
Sí, si usted tiene una copia, debería proporcionarla, pero debería proporcionarla a la fiscalía antes de la fecha que usted tiene que presentarse a su juicio.
Ok. Y también testigos, ¿verdad?
And also witnesses, right?
The witnesses need to appear on the trial date.
Sí, los testigos tienen que comparecer el día del juicio.
Ok, está bien.
Okay, that sounds good. ¿Algunas otras preguntas?
Eso es todo, gracias.
That is all, thank you.
Okay, my clerks will email you with the trial date and the other information.
Bueno, mi actuario judicial le va a enviar por correo electrónico la fecha del juicio y alguna otra información.
All right. You can leave the meeting.
Ok.
Se puede desconectar de la reunión.
Ok, gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
And Carmen, the police officer is Officer Rosales for the trial.
Rosales.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He elected to plead not guilty.
Yeah.
Carmen, do you have anybody else queued up?
I do not.
Okay, we don't have anybody else in the courtroom. Ms. Silva, thank you very much for your assistance.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
I think that's everybody, so you can go ahead and sign off. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, you as well.
Goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow.
Leave the meeting. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.